Hey ladies, it's Christina Marie with Dating Snippets, and today I wanted to go through 10 signs that a guy really likes you, that he's not just being nice, but that he genuinely really likes you and that you're heading in the direction of a relationship. There's that movie, He's Just Not That Into You, and it is so true. So here are 10 signs that a guy actually really likes you. Tip number 1 is he asks you out. So there's a difference between you asking a guy out to do stuff and him saying yes, and him asking you out. So if you ask him out for coffee and he says yes, if you ask him out to go out to dinner and he pays and he says yes, that's very different than him asking you out to do stuff. If you reach out and he always says yes, he might think you're cool, he might think you're cool friends, but he doesn't really like you. If a guy really likes you, he'll proactively ask you out to do stuff. Tip number 2 is he sees you at least once a week. If a guy really likes you, he will see you at least once a week. None of that every 2 weeks or 3 weeks stuff. If a guy really likes you and you're heading in the direction of a relationship, he'll see you at least once a week. Tip number 3, and a sign that he likes you, is you know his friends. So if a guy really likes you, he will introduce you to his friends. When he is going out with his buddies, if he's going to a friend's birthday, if they're getting together, he will invite you to join him and his friends to do stuff. If you've never met his friends, he doesn't really like you that much. Tip number 4, and a sign that he really likes you, is he talks to his family about you. So if his parents don't know who you are, he's not that into you. Especially this is true, and a really clear sign is if you live in the same city as his family and it's been 6 months and you still haven't met his family, sorry ladies, he's not that into you if you haven't met his family. Same thing, if his family's in town visiting him and he doesn't take you out for lunch or dinner to meet one of them, he's just not that into you. It sucks, I know, but guys that really seriously like you will introduce you to their family. Tip number 5, and a sign that he likes you, is he asks about you. Guys that really like you want to know about your day. They will want to know about your career, they'll want to know about your friends, they'll want to know about your family. They will ask you questions about you. If a guy doesn't ask a lot of questions, he's just not that into you. Tip number 6 that he likes you is he makes time for you. So I know for you ladies, you can be very forgiving. I know I personally am. You might think, oh, he's really busy with work, he's got his kids, he's in school, he's got blah. You make up all of these excuses, but when it comes down to it, if a guy really likes you, he will make time for you. I've seen guys skip poker nights with friends, they'll skip the gym, they'll get fewer hours of sleep. Whatever it is, if a guy really likes you, he will find time to see you. There's always time in a guy's day, it's just a matter of what his priorities are. So if a guy likes you, he will find the time to see you. Tip number 7 is you see him Friday or Saturday nights. And by nights, I mean not after 9 p.m., not after 10 p.m. If a guy really likes you, he will actually spend prime time with you. So you will spend time with him Friday or Saturday between 5 and 10 p.m. If you are not seeing him on Friday or Saturday between those hours, he's not that into you. You might be friends. You might be friends with benefits. He might think you're cool. He might think you're fun. But if you're not spending that prime time with him, he's not that into you. Tip number 8, and a sign that he likes you, is he holds your hand in public. So if a guy really likes you, he will want the whole world to see that you two are together and will kind of like claim you as his. So if a guy's not holding your hand in public, he's not that into you. He might think you're fun, he might think you're cool, he might think you're sexy, but he doesn't want a relationship with you if he's not making it aware to the public that you two are together. Number 9, is that he asks you to be exclusive. So if you've been dating 2 or 3 months and a guy still hasn't asked you to be exclusive, then he's not that into you. It sucks, but it's true. And then tip number 10 is you know it. So sadly, if you're watching this video wondering, does a guy like you? Truth is, he probably isn't that into you. This can be really, really hard to know unless you've ever had a guy be super into you. When a guy likes you, it is so unbelievably clear, and it's hard to know that feeling if you've never had it before. But if you're like analyzing his text messages with friends, if you're saying, well, I think he likes me because yada yada yada, or he did this sweet thing or that, if you're like working through your brain why a guy likes you, he probably might think you're cool, but doesn't really, really like you. When a guy really likes you and you're in the direction of a real relationship, it is like no question in your mind. It is just so, so clear. So in summary, here are the 10 signs that a guy actually likes you and he's not just being nice. Tip number 1 is he asks you out on dates. Tip number 2, he sees you at least once a week. Number 3, you know his friends. Number 4, you know his family and he talks to his family about you. Number 5, he asks about you and how you're doing. Number 6, he makes time for you no matter how busy he is. Number 7, you see him Friday and or Saturday nights before 9 p.m., ladies. Number 8, he makes it clear that the two of you are together in public and holds your hand. Number 9, he asks you to be exclusive after 2-3 months. And number 10, you just know it in your gut. There's no question in your mind. So what are some things that girls might think are signs that a guy is really into them, but they're not? One is he texts you back. So if you text him and he texts you back, that's him being nice. It doesn't mean he's not really into you. Another sign is he says yes to you asking him out. So if you ask him out for dinner and he says yes, or if you ask him out on a date to hang out with you and your friends and he says yes, he might think you're cool, he might think you're fun, but he doesn't really, really like you. He's just being nice. So if a guy's not proactively reaching out to you, ladies, he's not really into you. You should never have to chase a man. If you're chasing a man, he might not be into you. Also, it's really important to keep in mind how things are over the past 2 months. I have some friends that maybe a guy was really, really into them in the past. He used to ask them out. He used to ask about their day. He used to do all these romantic things, but he's kind of stopped doing them over the past month. That means that sadly he's lost interest. I know I'm personally guilty of this. I'm chasing after a guy who I know is no longer into me. It sucks, but unless you get these 10 signs, a guy's not that into you, he's just being nice. So my advice is please move on. This is where I say, do as I say, not as I do. Move on and find a guy that actually really likes you and wants to be with you in a relationship. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and please subscribe. Thanks, ladies.